too bad.
That's dope. Why do you look like you've been living in a cave, bruh?
I have been living in a cave. You know how it's been.
Joel is a small business owner. Uh, Very cool stuff that he does. I'm gonna share screen. This is something that I learned recently, but I'm not good at it yet, so just be patient. Um, if I'm not mistaken, this is your website here. Can you see, by the way?
Um, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the updated one. So that I've
Nice,
actually I just launched it last week. I spent the first 3 weeks of lockdown rebuilding that.
nice, nice,
So
nice.
you're
So
currently on the
uh,
products page.
okay, okay. So this is the Harris Creations website. Explain to me, because English is not first on my tongue. What does bespoke mean? I saw this and I was like, it looks like something I'd want to be part of, but I don't know what it means. What does bespoke mean?
So I guess it's a substitute for custom. It's
Okay.
just it's more custom. Like custom furniture is a phrase that's just been absolutely overcoined and misused and abused, and yeah, that's not what I'm about. So coining the term bespoke and throwing that into a furniture environment just kind of seemed applicable.
I see, I see. So this is stuff that you make. This is awesome stuff, bro, by the way. I've seen your stuff
Shocking,
pretty like, but not everything. And I was just so taken when I saw your page. Um,
shocking.
yeah, man, this is really good stuff. So I mean, you said Cyril's doing good stuff, and I agree. But I mean, you're a creator and also a business owner. How has this lockdown affected you? Um, Both from the ability to create and be motivated, but
Hmm.
also, like you're mentioning, some of the funding that you've sought, just the effect on the business and on you. How have you found it?
So I think one of the incredible things about being a creative in 2020 is that creativity is not necessarily limited to making dust in the workshop.
Mm,
A lot of what I do is founded in digital, in the form of CAD, so computer aided drawing.
mm,
And I've been able to spend more time than I would developing new ranges. You'll see one of the pieces there was a collaboration with the South African mural artist Giffy Dumini.
okay.
Um, and the two of us have been working on developing quite an extensive range of furniture together for him to be able to spray his artworks on those pieces. So it's
Mm,
kind of like a functional art kind of thing.
mm,
And that stuff I didn't have time prior lockdown to develop that. So when I mentioned the sort of initial financial impact and what that would have on the business, the stuff I'm working on now is kind of future.
mm,
So although I won't see the returns of that now, I'm
mm.
hoping that these hours that I've put in during lockdown, in 2 years' time, I'll be able to turn back and say, hey, those 21 days or however many it's been now, those were worth it. We're able to capitalize on it. So whilst being creative has been put on hold in terms of making stuff, the creative process I think is still alive and well.
Yeah, yeah, sure. That's actually really good. Um,
Yeah, and then to kind of touch on this, the second thing you made in terms of the financial impact,
mm,
I think I've been very fortunate to have epic customers so far, like
yeah,
really really rad customers, and um, I was able to drop a couple of them a mail and say, hey guys, look, this is the situation. Um, we're all kind of in the same boat here. Is there any chance that you could pay me in advance on the work that's outstanding?
okay,
Because the way my payment structures work is I do a 70% deposit upfront that goes to like materials and labor, and getting the job made and out of the factory, and then 30% gets paid to me on delivery.
okay,
And that's kind of like the money that we look forward to.
yeah,
So we've had to ask for that a little bit earlier, and yeah, some customers have been incredible. Like within half an hour, money's in my account.
wow,
Um, so that's awesome.
yeah,
It's money that we need,
yeah,
and we've got work to go back to now, which is great. I
yeah,
think a lot of people don't have that luxury, whereas we've got like 2 months of work to go back to.
yeah,
You know?
that's really awesome. I suppose that's the age that we're living in, eh? Like you mentioned, 2020 is a different age. So, we can innovate and find ways to keep active, but also acknowledging that it's different, man. So, it's not the same as being at the shop. And I mean, I know you've got a shop there, you've got guys that you work with, and that's like a
Mm,
different dynamic, and it's cool to be in that space. So this
mm,
is different, but there's ways to make it work. So that's really awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So during the day, I know you're a very focused guy. You're those wake up at 5 type of people. You mentioned gardening, but what else do you get up to during the day?
So the daily routine has kind of been getting going by 7. So by 7 o'clock, I want to have got dressed, had a shower, or other way around, had a shower, got dressed, had some breakfast. Generally, by that time, I've got 2 cups of caffeine in me, either
Mm,
coffee or tea,
mm.
and then probably a second breakfast by then too, which is generally inclusive of like a Dunker Omar.
Yeah,
Omar rusks have saved quarantine. And then from there it's pretty much straight to laptop work. So those images that you're looking at on the website,
mm.
those sort of tiled layouts, that's very intentional.
Okay.
Um, that's going to be printed into a catalog, um, and distributed amongst my customers and then potential future customers, as well as a sort of a hard copy of our collection of works to date.
Mm,
Which is, I think, it's going to be quite a nice touch because it's a business card you can't throw away.
mm, mm.
So that's been one thing that I've been working on. And then when the weather's good, I've just been picking my days. Then I'll go out and work in the garden and chainsaw the hedge. We've got a absolutely ludicrously big hedge around our house.
Yeah.
I pasted out the other day. It's like 130, 140 meters
Jeez.
worth of hedge and branches like duck. It's a forest.
Yeah.
We've got Fangorn forest in our back garden. So I've been tree felling that, and then
Yeah.
we've had a big patch of weeds out back that I need to clear. Weeds, not weed. Just to clarify. So working on that, and then picking avos took about 3 days or so.
Mm.
So that's been the structure. Intermittent snacks every hour, every 2 hours or so.
Yeah. It sounds like you've
So
been.
that's.
It sounds like you've been motivated, and it's quite crazy. A lot of people I've spoken to have been struggling with motivation to, number one, keep a routine, but two, to also be productive in ways that are not work. Like,
Mm.
like how do you do it? What's kept you going?
Look, there's definitely many hours in the day where you get frustrated and you've been staring at your screen for like an hour and you've probably made 4 cups of tea. But I think the biggest thing for me as a person who is a small business owner is just the need to do something. So even if that means me being destructive by chopping down a hedge, I can look back and see a pile of sticks and a cleared hedge and be like, cool, I've achieved something for the day.
I did something. Yeah.
I did something. There was I think it was a Navy captain in the US. He did a speech a while ago to a college graduate audience, and he was talking about the importance of making your bed in the morning. I don't know if you ever saw it. Basically, the point of his thing was, if you make your bed at the beginning of the day and you go do your day and it's an absolutely horrendous day, and you come home and you go to bed and your bed's made, like you've achieved something for the day and you've come back to something that was complete. You started your day right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing, where people were saying, get a routine, start your day right. Don't change your norm, because that's when you start digging yourself into a rut. Because humans are fundamentally built to work. Like that's our inner core. That's what we made of. So to negate that is pretty dangerous.
Sure. That's wise words. One last thing. You mentioned that there's work that you're doing that you hope will pay dividends in months to come. What do you hope to get out of the lockdown? So lockdown came to us not by design. It's kind of, for most people, it just arrived, and many people weren't prepared. So it's not like you could set a goal and say, when lockdown arrives, I will achieve the following. But now we're in it. So if you're to look forward with some sort of hope, what would you hope comes out of this? Perhaps in your personal space, in the space around you, or even nationally. what do you hope comes out of all of this?
Sure, big question. So, where do I start? In terms of using the time wisely, I think as a creative, we're always having ideas. There's always the next thing. And when you're working a job, you're working a hustle, regardless of your job, I think there's a lot of times where you think, damn, I wish I just had a holiday. I wish I just had some free time. And then suddenly you get given all this free time and then you don't know what to do with it. So it's a bit of a paradox that we've kind of got thrown into. So that future investment that I touched on earlier, I'm really hoping that a lot of other people have plugged into that and really had some introspective time to try and figure out exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it. Because I guess a lot of people have lost focus. And it's just become grind. Like we just do our 9 to 5, or we just do our 7 to 5. And a lot of people are not going to have a 7 to 5 to go back to. And maybe this is maybe this is a time where they lose their 7 to 5 and they're going to be able to start up their side hustle. Because 100%, like I'm all for SMEs being the future of the country. And the fact that Cyril has placed so much emphasis on the importance of SMEs makes me feel valuable as a South African, like that I'm contributing positively towards the economy. One of the thoughts that I've had is, great, the Sakuma Fund, awesome, dish me out 25 grand and it's for free. But I think something that's far more valuable is people just continuing to support the economy, because if someone comes to me and commissions me to build a piece of furniture for 25,000, I've got a network of suppliers, and invariably that 25,000 rand is going to be split up between up to 10 different people, as opposed to just giving me 25 grand and saying cheers. So I think the grants and the loans and all that they're dishing out is one thing, but people need to understand the importance of sowing back into the economy and keeping that chugging going forward. Getting those buying habits back into swing, and supporting local. There's been a big drive against China, which I don't necessarily agree with, because there's also an economy there to think about, and there's massive trade implications. But our local economy is huge. Bless you. Our local economy is huge, and it takes care of a lot of people. So it's important that going forward we focus a lot more on that. And evidently our government has got our back. Because they've shown us this far that they really back small business. That's such. Does that answer your question? It was a loaded question.
It was very loaded. I didn't realize you were this hardcore and this hectic, and you've got
hardly
to contribute to the world. I don't say that lightly. I think this is it's been really awesome and enlightening.
Okay. It's been cool to chat to you.
Yeah. I'll send through an EFT for one of your works when I've got money. That time is not now, but one day. And I hope someone.
Friends and family. I've always said friends and family pay double, because they're the ones who want you to succeed.
Yeah. No, I can't afford double. But I really do hope that someone watching sees your work and invests, because, like I said, it's really awesome stuff.
No, shots. I appreciate that.
All right, man. All the best.
Okay. You must say how's it to the wife?
We'll do. In regards to the family.